Yeah, so hi guys, I'm your trainer, Mayank Sharma. So we'll start in a minute. In the meantime, anyone has any queries related to anything like cloud, DevOps, or anything else? No one? That's very good. Okay, तो फिर हम कुछ queries से start करते हैं मेरे side से. So can anyone tell me what is cloud, guys? Cloud क्या है? Anyone?
If we can use the hardware resources, we can say without means buying that from the vendor through an internet, it's called an cloud computing, you can say.
But that is cloud computing, right? हम पूछ रहे right
Yeah.
now what is cloud only? Only cloud.
The place to store data.
But वो तो storage हो गई.
But
If
cloud
we can
data
access
storage.
anything remotely,
वो तो इंटरनेट है रिमोटली एक्सेस करने के लिए तो yeah that's why I'm asking. It's a very basic term that जो कि regularly float करती है हमारे आसपास, but still and there are multiple answers. If you are going on internet आप सबको ये आंसर मिलेंगे. So yes, I am expecting that only. That's why we have this particular demo session जिसमें हम basic ही समझेंगे cloud computing, different types of cloud, ठीक है, कुछ models and then course content. Okay, because for starting any cloud computing platform like Azure or AWS, हमें थोड़ा सा basic idea होना चाहिए. Then we can easily differentiate between multiple things. Okay. So anyone else जो बताना चाहेगा what is cloud? Okay. Yes. So we'll start. Hitesh, we can start, right? In the meantime, जो भी join करेगा वो continue.
Yes. Please continue.
हाँ, स्क्रीन से नहीं कर सकते, मैं करता हूँ. ओके गाइस, सो आप सबको मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही है, राइट?
yes.
सो स्टार्ट करते हैं. या सो द फर्स्ट एंड द बेसिक क्वेश्चन दैट मैंने अभी आप लोगों से पूछा था, व्हाट इज क्लाउड? ओके, सो इन इंटरनेट देयर आर मल्टीपल आंसर्स जो कि अभी हमें बताया गया, ठीक है. बट सी द एक्चुअल डेफिनेशन ऑफ क्लाउड इज बेसिकली क्लाउड एक टूल है, ठीक है. आप इसको एक एज एन एप्लीकेशन समझ सकते हैं that you can install on your system and that tool will automate everything for you. कि जो आपके पास आपका एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, क्लाउड उसको ऑटोमेट करने में हेल्प करता है आपकी. क्लाउड जो टूल है उसके अंदर इतनी मल्टीपल स्क्रिप्ट्स होती हैं कि अगर आपको वर्चुअल मशीन लॉन्च करनी है, आपको स्टोरेज बनाना है, ठीक है, आपको नेटवर्क्स बनाने हैं, आपको फायरवॉल सेटअप करना है, ये सारी चीजें वो टूल आपके लिए करके देता है, ठीक है. और इन सारी चीजों को मैनेज करने के लिए वो टूल आपको एक पोर्टल प्रोवाइड करता है, ठीक है, जिस पोर्टल को आप ओवर द इंटरनेट जाके हैंडल कर सकते हैं और उस पोर्टल के थ्रू आप जो भी चीज चाहें वो डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. सो क्लाउड इज अ टूल दैट इज यूज्ड टू ऑटोमेट योर एग्जिस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ठीक है. और इस टूल के एग्जांपल क्या है हमारे पास? इस टूल के एग्जांपल है पैकस्टैक और ओपनस्टैक, ठीक है. पैकस्टैक एक फ्री वर्जन है जो कि आप इजीली packstack.io से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, और उसको डाउनलोड करने के बाद आप उसको इंस्टॉल करिए, सेटअप करिए, एंड आप जैसे AWS या Azure का पोर्टल देखते हैं ना, वैसे आप खुद से भी पोर्टल क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. तो क्लाउड वो टूल है जो उस पोर्टल को बनाने में हेल्प करता है. ओपन स्टैक ऑब्वियसली एक पेड वर्जन है जो कि रेडिट प्रोवाइड करता है, ठीक है. और ओपन स्टैक एक इंडस्ट्री स्टैंडर्ड है. जितने भी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जिन जो हार्डवेयर इंटेंसिव है, जैसे टेलीकॉम सेक्टर्स जहां पर हार्डवेयर इंटेंसिटी ज्यादा है, हर चीज के लिए हार्डवेयर की रिक्वायरमेंट है, उस पूरे हार्डवेयर को मैनेज करने के लिए ओपन स्टैक जैसे क्लाउड यूज किए जाते हैं. ठीक है, देखिए क्लाउड बना ही था मल्टीपल या फिर बड़े इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को मैनेज करने के लिए। सो इसको एक एग्जांपल से समझते हैं, जैसे नासा है। ठीक है, नासा एक काफी पुरानी रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो नासा के पास पहले से ही बहुत सारा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर था, मल्टीपल डेटा सेंटर्स अक्रॉस द ग्लोब फैले हुए थे। करेक्ट। सो नासा को एक ऐसा वे चाहिए था जिससे वो इजीली सबको मैनेज कर सके। सो नासा, amazon, एचपी, डेल और ऐसे 25 अदर कंपनीज ने मिलकर टूल बिल्ड करा है। ठीक है, इस क्लाउड को इन सब ने मिलकर बिल्ड करा। और इन सब ने जो फर्स्ट क्लाउड निकाला था वो है पैकस्टैक। ठीक है, पैकस्टैक इज द पाइनियर राइट नाउ। भी पैकस्टैक पे सारा अपग्रेड किए जाते हैं। ठीक है, तो ये फ्री वर्जन है, आप इसको यूज कर सकते हैं। सो अगेन रिमेंबर दैट क्लाउड इज अ, किसी को डाउट है यहाँ पर? अच्छा चलिए मैं ही पूछता हूँ। तो फिर amazon, AWS, सॉरी, AWS, Azure, GCP, अलीबाबा, ये सब क्या है फिर, अगर ये क्लाउड नहीं है तो मुझे बता सकते हैं? एनीवन?
क्लाउड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर।
सर्विस प्रोवाइडर, करेक्ट। बट इसकी, हाँ, आप इसको सर्विस प्रोवाइडर ही बोल सकते हैं। ठीक है, बट ये सर्विस प्रोवाइडर से ज्यादा एक कंप्यूटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म है। ठीक है, देखिए मैंने अभी आपको थोड़ी देर पहले बोला था कि आप जब क्लाउड टूल इंस्टॉल करते हैं तो ये आपको एक पोर्टल बना के देता है। ठीक है, तो ऐसे ही पोर्टल हमें ये सारे प्रोवाइडर्स प्रोवाइड करते हैं। और जो भी प्रोवाइडर ये पोर्टल प्रोवाइड करता है ना, उन प्रोवाइडर्स को क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म बोला जाता है। ठीक है, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग की कोई डेफिनेशन बता सकता है मुझे? थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था, फिर से कोई बता सकता है क्या ऊपर? एनीवन? बेसिक टर्म्स ही गाइस, रेगुलर हमारे आसपास बोलते हैं हम लोग। कोई भी नहीं? ठीक है। So basically, cloud computing is an on-demand delivery of computing services. Okay, और सर्विसेज आप बोल सकते हैं। कोई भी ऐसी सर्विस जो आपको ऑन डिमांड मिल आपको चाहिए और ये लोग आपको प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, वो क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग होती है। ठीक है, अब इस ऑन डिमांड सर्विस के अंदर आप कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं। आपको सर्वर्स चाहिए, आपको स्टोरेज चाहिए, आपको फायरवॉल चाहिए, आपको नेटवर्क चाहिए, या फिर आपको कोई प्रोडक्ट चाहिए। ठीक है, तो ये क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स बेसिकली इन सारी चीजों को ही फोकस करते हैं। ठीक है, जैसे अजोर है, आप अजोर के पोर्टल पे जाइए, उसके बाद आपको जो भी सर्विसेज चाहिए आप वहां पर उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। आपको कंटेनराइजेशन चाहिए, आपको ऑर्केस्ट्रेटर चाहिए लाइक कुबरनेटिस और ओपन शिफ्ट। ठीक है, आपको ओनली सर्वर्स चाहिए, आपको कोई प्लेटफॉर्म सर्विस चाहिए। ठीक है, या फिर आपको माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का कोई प्रोडक्ट चाहिए जैसे ऑफिस 365 और ये सारी चीजें, तो ये सब वो प्लेटफॉर्म आपको प्रोवाइड करके देता है इसे। ठीक है, तो अजोर, एडब्ल्यूएस, जीसीपी, ये सब क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स। ठीक है, तो आप हमेशा ये डिफरेंस ध्यान रखिए। अगर आप बोलते हैं कि आप अजोर सीख रहे हैं तो आप एक क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म सीख रहे हैं। अगर आप बोल रहे हैं कि आप ओपन स्टैक पढ़ रहे हैं तो आप क्लाउड पढ़ रहे हैं। ठीक है, ये डिफरेंस हमेशा ध्यान रखिएगा। नाउ देखिए, क्लाउड और क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के डिफरेंस होते हैं। तो क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के हम कैरेक्टरिस्टिक समझते हैं, तो वही मेजर डिफरेंशिएट क्रिएट कर देता है क्लाउड और क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के बीच। क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग बेसिकली ऑन डिमांड होती है, पहले से ही सब कुछ सेटअप है। एक सेकंड। ओके, ठीक है, ओके, सो the first, so we'll understand the characteristic of
Hello,
cloud
man.
computing.
Sorry to disturb
Yes,
you. Hello. Are
yes.
all guys comfortable with English? Is it good to continue the session in English? Uh, okay, so I will take silence as a yes. Right, you can continue with the English.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So Now we'll understand the characteristics of cloud computing. So the first and the foremost characteristic is an on-demand self-service. So basically, no one is going to give you anything. You have to log in into the portal and then you need to create everything by yourself. Okay, that is on-demand and self-service. Now, once you create it, now you are the owner. You have to manage it and you have to decide that how much time you are going to use it. You can use it on for 1 minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's upon you. First characteristic. Second characteristic is a broad network access. So the meaning here is that you can access or manage those resources via mobile, via laptop, tablet, or any workstation. Azure Cloud provides a service called Azure App, okay, where you can just log in your VMs using a mobile app only, and you can manage all those things also via an application. Okay, so that is a broad network access. Third one is resource pooling. You can pull up the resources. Okay, let's just say that you are running an application, okay, and you are using certain resources. You can cut down that resources and you can provide it to another also, another service that you are running. And otherless, you can also do the revert thing also. And there are abundant resource there. You can use that also. But yes, you can reuse your own resources that you already purchase. Fourth one is rapid elasticity. You can scale up to any heights in cloud. Okay, so there is right now, there are such certain extents. Okay, but for a common user or a common industry, there are many more resources provided by cloud. So you can elastically rapid, you can rapid easily. Okay, and then finally measured service. So whatever all the service that you are using, you are going to get matrices for that. Okay, so you can monitor those services, and according to those matrices, you can upscale, downscale, and manage your application. Okay, so these are some characteristics of cloud computing, what they have built on their own. Any doubts still here? Anyone? Okay. Now move forward to types of cloud. So I think you all about public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Can anyone tell me the difference between these three clouds? Anyone?
Public cloud means which can be accessible to everyone, and the private cloud is, I mean, like the companies which will take only some I mean some server basis, this is databases, so they companies only should be accessible to it. Hello.
Ah, yes, correct. And hybrid cloud?
Hybrid cloud, but I'm not sure about that hybrid cloud, but whatever the information I know, I'll tell you. Hybrid cloud means it, uh, I mean, both can be usable, which can be accessed from anywhere.
So for public and private cloud, your definition is on point. Yes, that is correct. For hybrid cloud, we'll set the stage. So basically, as Mohammed says, for public cloud is a service that is offered by a third party provider. So you are not going to set up anything from your end. Okay, you just need to create an account in that service. Then you have to log in into that portal and then you can do anything. Okay, you can create servers, you can create machines and anything that you want. Okay. So the examples of public cloud providers are AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Computing Platforms. Apart from that, we have Alibaba Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and like that, we have more than 200 plus cloud providers. Okay. Or we can say cloud computing platforms. Now, the advantage of using public cloud is, first of all, it is very cost effective because it is catering to a very large audience. So basically, the price of the services are very cheap. And also there is a thing called pay as you go. So let's just say that you are running a machine for 10 hours, 20 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So you have to only pay for that amount of time. Okay, so that's why it's very cheap. Second thing is scalable, as we discussed in the characteristic of cloud computing platform also. So you can scale up your application at any height. Okay, so if you want to use, if you are using a resource intensive application like SAP HANA that is used for transactional databases. So transactional databases are basically used in our ATMs machine. Okay, so we are doing around 1,000 2,000 transaction in a second or more than that. So that kind of a resource intensive application can also be run in cloud. Okay. And a small application like a web server can also be run. So it is highly scalable. Third one is reliable. So basically providers like Amazon, Microsoft, they have very large infrastructure all over the globe. Okay, and they have multiple data centers inside the country and outside the country also. So they have abundant of resources. So if anything happens in their hardware, they can fix that easily. Apart from that, they can also switch you from one hardware to another hardware so that you can have a seamless experience for your application. And finally, no maintenance. Okay, so you don't have to maintain anything. Okay. Initially, if you are using a completely own like SaaS application, then everything is managed by them only. Okay, and for basic public for hardware maintenance also, cloud provider manages that. You don't need to manage anything. Okay, so you don't need to deal about power cut or anything else. Their services are always going to be uptime. The next is private cloud. Okay, so private cloud is basically for a single organization, exclusively used by a single organization. Let's just say that we are an organization and we want that, okay, so I want to set up everything, but that is exclusively used by me. No other person or another company should be using. Then we host a private cloud. Okay, so private cloud has two type of entities. First one is self-hosted. As earlier, I give you an example that if I am a telecom company, let's assume that I am a Jio. Okay, I own the Jio. Then I have a lot of hardware to manage. Then I can purchase OpenStack from Reddit and then I can install it and then I can manage everything from a single place. Okay, if I have hardware, then I can set up my own cloud from scratch. Okay, but let's just say that I want to be exclusive, but I don't have that much of hardware. Then I can also choose a cloud provider to do that. Okay, so cloud provider like Microsoft, AWS gives this type of a support also. So for an example, US Defense, okay, we can say Pentagon uses Azure cloud. Okay, so Azure provide them a separate data center where all that hardware is dedicated to US Defense. Same AWS also provides this thing. So for US FBI uses AWS cloud for their infrastructure. Okay, AWS provide a separate infra data center to them. So for private cloud, you can either set up your own or you can choose any vendor. They will also provide you the same services. Now the advantage of private cloud is that you have increased control. Okay, so for public cloud, basically, yes, there are options that is provided to you, but only those options you need to select. But in private cloud, you can give your own preferences also. Let's just say that we want a certain kind of hardware to run. Okay, we want some certain type of, we have certain type of application that require some certain type of hardware only. We can choose that. We can also have more control on the access, that who is going to access those things, what kind of encryption we want. We can ask AWS or Microsoft or own team to implement that certain encryption only. Overall, the performance is also increased. It's a very common factor that if a hardware is used by multiple person or if a hardware is used by a single person, so there is a performance improvement also. Okay, and finally the regulatory compliances. See, the major reason why a company opt a private cloud is compliances. Each country has its own compliances. You heard about GDPR, HIPAA, PCI, these kind of terms. Okay, so these terms are basically compliances that are enforced by the government. Okay, so let's just talk about banks. So if you are a bank, okay, and you are having money and transactional information of users, so government enforces a rule that the data of users should not be placed outside India. Okay, so if you are storing the data of user in a cloud, then it also needs to be stored inside the country. Okay. The famous example is PUBG. Okay, so we all know that PUBG got banned in India. Why? Because the servers that are storing the user data are outside India. After that, right now the PUBG is launched with the Azure cloud only. So now they are using Azure servers to run inside India data center. Okay, so that regulatory compliance is the most important thing. That's why multiple organization of private cloud. Any doubts still? Anything you want to ask? Okay, that's nice. Okay, then finally we have hybrid cloud. Okay, so see the basic and the simple definition of hybrid cloud is combination of public and private cloud services are known as hybrid cloud. Okay, but we need to understand that how a hybrid cloud is formed in an organization. Okay, so see if we are using public cloud, then it is very cheap. Okay, we are getting all the services, but due to compliances or regulatory compliances, we cannot use it completely. Then what option we have? We have to switch to private cloud, but private cloud is expensive price. If you are going to set up private cloud on your own, then you first of all you need to install hardware, then you have to maintain it. You need engineers and multiple people and spare parts for that. Apart from that, if you are going to purchase OpenStack from Red Hat, then you also have to pay a subscription fee to Red Hat on a yearly basis. Okay, so now you have to manage all those things. Apart from that, all the bugs or anything that happens is going to be managed by you. So private cloud is expensive as well as you need to manage everything. But you need to do that because you have to follow regulatory compliances. Okay, so in order to fix all those things, hybrid cloud is introduced. So basically what we are telling. So, okay, so only the user data that is a sensitive part for any application is going to be stored inside our on-premises setup or data center that we build. Apart from that, the application that we are hosting by which the user is interacting, okay, and our other applications or other services are going to be launched on public cloud. And we will going to set up a VPN connection between these two entities. Like this, a hybrid cloud is set up. Okay, so we are hosting, let's just say that again we are a bank. Okay, so our bank sites are going to be hosted on Azure cloud. Okay, but the database that is going to hold, let's just say that you log in into your internet banking dashboard. So that dashboard is running on Azure cloud, but the data that is going to be populated, that database is present inside our on premises. Okay, so we set up a small private cloud for us, and then we'll set up that database. Like this, a hybrid cloud will work. And to connect these two entities, either we can use a wired connection by with the help of our vendors like Geo Ratel. Okay, that is known as a direct connect, or we can also use a VPN connection to do this. Okay, now the advantage of this thing is we have flexibility. Now we can use best of the both worlds. Okay, best of the public cloud to use and the private cloud services use. Okay, and the second part is post optimization. As I told you that private cloud is very expensive. Now we don't need to deal with that much expensive thing. Only a small fraction is going is a thing that we need to manage. Apart from that, we can use public cloud offerings that are cheap as compared to private clouds. And we can also set up disaster recovery. See, DR is a very important thing in an IT industry. Okay, because DR is your failover. If anything happens to your current infrastructure, then a DR will going to help you. Okay. So with the DR setup in private cloud, the problem is that then I have to set up my machines on different. Okay. So let's just say that I am an Indian based company and I reside in Pune. So I have to set up a DR in Pune as well as in another location also. Because if anything, any natural disaster happen in Pune, then what happens to my infrastructure? My application can be down. Okay. So that is very hard to maintain in a private cloud. But for public cloud, they have data centers across India. Okay, so I can store my data in different locations. If anything happened to a certain location, then in another location, my application is still running. The performance can be impacted, but still my application is running. Anyone has any doubts? Anything? Mohammed? You understand? Hybrid cloud. Again, a nice silence. Okay. So the next thing. Now we have cloud computing services. So we talk about cloud. So how cloud is divided. Now we'll talk about cloud computing services. So can you tell me? So anyone can tell me about IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Again, these are very common terms, guys. You heard it, you know about it, right? In day-to-day life. Anyone? If you are going to be silent like this, then I have to pick names, guys. Again, it's a session that you are going to learn. I know all these things, that's why I'm teaching you. Come on. Okay, let me ask. Sagar, do you heard about these terms, Sagar? IAS, PaaS, and SaaS.
No, not it.
Okay. Mohammed, Vikram, Sanjay. Swain. No one?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, as past as right infrastructure as a service of the service.
Your internet is cutting it. Okay. No problem. So, okay, guys, no problem if you don't heard about these things. So, IaaS
Yes,
is
sir.
infrastructure as a service.
Hello.
Yes.
It's a HCS means software as a service, platform as a
Yes.
service. Actually, we hear about on before, sir. But I don't know what how it works practically really.
Okay. That's okay. That is not. But yeah, actually, I'm not saying that okay, you need to know, but yeah, these are common terms that are again floating in everywhere. Many people discuss about this. So yeah, my question is only if you heard about these terms or not. I'm not asking that okay, so tell me what is IAS or PaaS. I think everyone heard about these things, correct? So we are using PaaS services or SaaS services. We'll discuss
Correct.
about these things, correct? So I think you all heard about it. So let's just break everything one by one. So first of all, we'll discuss about IaaS service. Okay, so IaaS service, give me a second, guys. So IaaS service. So IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. Now, if you focus on this diagram, oh sorry, image. So to set up an application or to set up an environment, office environment, first of all, we require networking. So multiple routers are set up, internet connections are bought. Once that is set up, then we'll set up the storages like SAN or NAS. After that, our servers are purchased. Once all these things are happened, then we'll virtualize everything. Okay, and after that, we'll select the operating system and then we'll install or build a platform where an application can be built. Now, all these things managed by different sectors in an organization. So there are developers who build the application by selecting a platform. There are administrators like us who is going to manage all the infrastructure part as well as the deployment part and patch part. And then there are some data teams like HRs, let's just say CAs and other departments who do the paperwork and the legal work for us. Okay, so to manage all those departments, we have these three kinds of services. Okay, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. So first of all, we will discuss about infrastructure as service. So basically, these services are created for administrators like us, okay, who earlier managing the infrastructure part also. So Cloud computing platforms tells that, okay, now you are a system administrator, cloud engineer, or let's just say a Devops engineer also. So initially you need to manage the infrastructure part in the organization if you have physical servers. Sorry. So now you don't need to manage all those things. Instead of that, what you can do is you can use our platform. In our platform, all these things are physically managed by us. You just need to manage it virtually. So you need to select a certain hardware. You need to set up a networking part. Okay, but all those things needs to be done on virtual level, not on physical level. Okay, all these things are managed by us. Okay, we'll manage everything. Apart from that, now you need to select operating system, middlewares, and runtime. You need to manage these things only. You select an operating system, you need to patch it, you need to secure it. Now all those things are responsible from your side. The safety of your physical hardware is managed by us. If we make it redundant in a way, if there is a power outage also, we'll manage that for you. Okay. Again, IaaS offers the most flexibility for a deployment. Okay, so only the hardware is managed by your vendor. Apart from that, everything you are going to manage. You want Linux operating system, Windows operating system, Mac OS, anything you can select. You can select any kind of a middleware like JBoss. You can select your own runtime. You can implement your secure data and then you can run your application easily. Okay, if you want an highly flexible application, then you can choose IaaS. Okay, and most of the legacy applications are running in IaaS. Okay, guys, tell me, do you know what is a legacy application? Anyone heard about this thing? Legacy application? Okay, so legacy applications are those applications who are deployed in a single entity. Okay, so let's just say that I have built a website. Okay, and that website has 5 or 10 different components. So all those components are going to be deployed in a single virtual machine. So that kinds of application are known as legacy applications. And in contrast of that, right now we are using microservice based architecture, where all the different components are going to be run in a different containers. Okay, so if your application are breaking like that, then it's a micro architecture based application. And if every component of a service is residing in a single machine, then it's a legacy application. So all the legacy applications are going to be deployed in IaaS services only. The example of IaaS are Microsoft Azure virtual machines and EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud from Amazon. Okay. So this is IaaS. So the infrastructure part is managed by a vendor, and apart from that, everything is managed by us. Okay, so this is for administrators who manages that, all those things. Now, what about developers? So for a developer, they don't want to manage anything. They don't want to manage infrastructure as well as they don't want to manage the patchwork, security and firewall, all those stuff. They need a platform there where they can go and code and then build or deploy their application. So for developers, cloud computing platform provides PaaS, platform as a service. So in the picture, as you can see, now till runtime, everything is managed by the vendor. You just need to go to that platform and then you can just serve the purpose. Okay, you can build or you can deploy. The best example of these things are, I think you all heard about HackerRank and CodeChef. These are competitive coding platforms where what you can do, you can just go there and go to their website, then select the language where you in which you want to code, and then there is a editor that is available for you. You can just edit, put your code and you can easily run there. That is a PaaS platform. Okay, in that platform, they'll provide you all the resources, but you cannot manage that platform. You cannot edit, or let's just say you cannot introduce any changes to that platform. Okay, so the more relevant example is like Google Meet. Okay, so you can schedule a meeting in a Google Meet. Okay, but the problem with Google Meet is you cannot record that. Okay, it's a platform as a service you can use to serve meetings. Okay, but you cannot record that. Now I don't have any option to make changes so that it can record. Okay. So that is a PaaS platform. You have the services, but you don't have flexibility to make changes inside that. Okay, you can do some changes, but still most of the changes are managed by the provider only. Okay, so
Sir,
the
we
major
consider
example,
IAS as a Microsoft Teams. Can we take an example like this?
IaaS for Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
No, Microsoft Teams is a SaaS service, software as a service.
Oh,
See, in IaaS, only the physical hardware. Apart from that, all the building you have to do. Okay, so let's just say that you want to launch a website. So if you are using IaaS service, then you have to log in into the portal. You have to build a virtual machine, and then you need to code, and then you are going to launch it. Okay, but in PaaS, the step you need to log in, but you don't need to launch a virtual machine. You don't need to secure it. You just simply do your code and you can launch it. Okay,
oh,
that is PaaS.
we're just using the service. We can't
Yes.
implement anything. Okay.
Okay, you can use the platform. And then finally we have SaaS. Now you don't have to do anything. Okay. You just need to go in a certain place. You need to pay for a subscription and then you can easily use it. Okay. So that is everything that right now we are using. All the mobile applications that you use, you don't code anything, you don't do anything. You just simply go to Play Store and download it. Microsoft Suite, Office Suite, this Teams. Okay, this is a software as a service. Now using this I don't manage this software. I just purchase it from Microsoft. Microsoft manages it. Microsoft manages the infrastructure. Microsoft manages the runtime, the platform, the coding part. Okay, so these are SaaS services. Most of the things that right now we are using is a SaaS, software as a service. Okay, you have to book a cab. You want to book a cab, then you can use a Uber. Uber is a SaaS service, software as a service. Now you don't need to code or no, don't need to do anything there. Okay, Google Drive, Dynamic Traces, and more of the application right now is SaaS. Salesforce Cloud is a completely SaaS environment, software as a service environment. Okay. So, any doubts still here? Anyone? So you guys understand about what is cloud and what is cloud computing, types of cloud and
Yes.
computing. Okay. No one? Okay, that's very good. Okay. After this, we'll discuss about our course content. So see, this is basically an introduction for cloud and cloud computing because we want you to know that before coming to Azure or cloud, sorry, Azure AZ-104, you need to understand that you are learning a cloud computing platform and what is the differences. Okay. And now in AZ-104, all the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS thing that we have discussed, we are going to touch those all. Okay, let me show you the course content. I hope you already have the course content, but let me explain you the course content for a minute. Okay, so see, AZ-104 is a completely hands-on course. Okay, here, if I tell on a percentage basis, so the 90% of the course is going to be a practical one and 10% is the theoretical one, firstly. So who can do this course? So if you are an aspiring cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer, or if you are an existing system administrator who knows Linux or Windows, or a developer, then you can opt AZ-104 course certification to upskill yourself and you can pursue the new role in your career, firstly. Second thing, because it's a live and hands-on course, then you are able to implement anything that industry requires from this particular section. Okay, so if you want to switch on a cloud engineer role or a Linux administrator role or a DevOps engineer role, so these are the fundamental things that you need to know how to implement these things. Okay, so this course focuses on that. And again, this course is designed by Microsoft itself. Okay. So yeah, it's an industry, according to industry standards only, these courses are designed. Now, if we talk about this course, so there are 5 skills on which you have to learn. So first one is manage Azure identities. So right now I'm telling it as an overview basis. Implement and manage storage, deploy Azure compute resources, implement virtual networking, and monitor and maintain everything. Okay, so these are the 5 things on which we have to learn. Okay, so these 5 skills you are getting when you are learning this course. Just a second. Okay, so so this is a totally a 15 days course. Okay, on a weekday basis, and on a weekend basis, we can cover all the things in a 1 month period. Okay, so in 4 weeks, we are going to get classes and then we can cover all those things. Now, all the things that what we are going to cover are defined in a day wise breakdown. So you can also check, okay, on which day, what technologies we are going to introduce. Now, before this, you have to understand that what are the things that we are going to learn in this course. So the first and the foremost thing is that we are going to know that, okay, in an Azure cloud, how we are going to manage an Active Directory service. Again, guys, you all heard about Azure Active Directory, right? Or directory services,
Yes.
correct? So if
Yeah.
anyone is not going to heard, so directory services are those services which is used to manage users. Okay. So for a very vague example, so all you have LinkedIn accounts, right? So when you are signing into LinkedIn, so they'll ask, right? So either you want to log in from Google, Facebook, or from any another website, right? So that how that option is enabled, that option is enabled due to the directory services. Okay, so such like that only we are also going to learn about directory services. So how Azure Active Directory works, how to create users in that, how to manage those users, and how to give them a self password reset services. Okay, so let's just suppose that if you lost your Azure account password, then how you can reset it. And after that, we are also going to learn how to provide access to those users. So in an organization, the access part is very crucial part. So if you join in an organization, it's not like that on day one, you get all the access of all the resources, right? So like that only we are going to learn how the access management is done in Azure cloud. And apart from that, how to manage it. And we are also going to learn that how to give a least permission to a user so that a user can do their work without hampering or without having more access. Okay. After that, we are going to learn about Azure Cloud Storage. Okay. So in this storage, we are going to learn about the industry standard storage like block storage, file storage, and object storage. What are these storages and how we are going to manage and maintain them? Any doubt till here, guys? Anything you want to ask?
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, actually, this course is only related to the, I mean, only for the developers who are working on the currently, or otherwise the manual testing also it's fine.
No, for testers also it's also fine because for testing purposes, right now cloud tools are used, right?
Yeah,
That's
actually, yeah,
so
I worked as a manual tester and having an 1.5 years experience.
that's not an issue. You can also learn and upskill. Okay, because there are cloud developers also, right? Cloud developers and cloud testers are also some profiles. So then you can upskill and apply for those things.
Okay, you in this course you will teach only Microsoft Azure, not Microsoft Azure Cloud, not DevOps. Huh?
Ah, yes, it's a cloud training only. Microsoft does all.
Okay, it's related to. I mean, the concept is only related to the certification level, right?
Ah, yes.
Any projects are you going to?
Any projects?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come into that in a minute once we complete this whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Then we are going to learn about Azure compute resources, like how to set up Azure IaaS service, how to set up Azure PaaS service, PaaS and IaaS services. Okay, and Azure container services also. And then we have Azure virtual networking. So networking is a very fundamental building block for any service or any cloud. So here we are going to learn how to set up DNS services, how to set up a VPN connection. Just like in your organization, if you are doing a work from home, then you just launch an application and connect to your company environment. So the same setup we are going to done in this virtual networking part. Okay, and then finally we have monitoring and backup services. So once we learn all the services, then we are going to see how to monitor all those things and then how to take backup of these services. Okay, so this is the course content that we are going to pursue. Now coming on to the delivery part of this whole course. So basically, so we designed this course on a basis so that you can have a feel of a real-time environment. Okay. So again, guys, I am a DevOps engineer in an organization, so I know that how we are going to set up the cloud and how we are going to pursue everything on an application basis. So we'll set up everything on a so from the day one, all the things that we are going to set up is going to take us on a bigger achievement known as a deployment of our application. Okay, so we're going to deploy a single application. Now that application has different components, and we learn that how initially we build a legacy application. Now that we are breaking that legacy application into a microservice architecture application. Okay, so for developers and testers, those are the testament that how we are building a legacy application, then breaking it to a microservice architecture. And for administrators, we are seeing that okay, so by switching from legacy to micro base service based architecture, what is the shift of the services that we need to take? Okay. Is it clear to all of you guys?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Actually, I have a technical question.
Yes.
Sir, why most of the organizations use the AWS, why they don't use an Azure or GCP like that? Actually, they are most of the services are IBM services now. Then why all people are using AWS? You know,
Why multiple organization use AWS as compared to Azure? You are asking that.
yes, sir. Why most of the organizations are using AWS services? Why don't they choose an AWS, Azure or GCP like that?
Yeah. So see, the basic answer is because of the timing of AWS cloud. Okay. So AWS cloud launches in 2006. Okay, and then it captured almost all the market. Azure launches at 2008, and then it start capturing the market at around 2014, and then GCP is on the way, on the third way. Okay, so all the initial organizations have adopted the AWS cloud. Okay, and then right now, still also most of the companies, if you apply, then you can get an AWS profile there. Okay, but right now, why Azure is trending? Because now most of the new projects which includes AI. And apart from that, all the organization that belongs to UK side and Europe side and some extent to India, they are opting Azure cloud because of the Microsoft performances. Microsoft are bringing multiple new techs and multiple new features that are related to AI and other things. That's why industry is more focused on Azure right now. Apart from that, also Microsoft is providing right now very high discounts for the organization to use it so that their billing can be go down and the user base is going high. And also all the flagship products of Microsoft are in Azure right now. That's why many organizations are switching to it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So guys, any doubts? Anything?
If
Currently,
the
no.
person want to
No.
switch to the DevOps roles, so should you recommend to take this course?
Yes. So if you want to switch to DevOps, guys, then cloud is a fundamental